One thing he's concerned about is the latter part of the quarter, where they've got away to good starts in each quarter, but in that time-on period they tended to relax and let Geelong back into it. A couple of players with corkies, but nothing which will keep them off the game, and I don't think Geelong have got any injuries. I'll check that in a moment, but I think Porter, we'd like to go on with this game after a very good first half.
Thanks, Roscoe. Yeah, they're 5 points up, actually. So they lead 10-6 to 9-7, and Porter really given a great display of teamwork here today.
Oh, gee, look, they've been terrific. But, look, Drew, there's plenty of quality players there, isn't there, in that Port side? And Stevens has just been... if you're talking about the Batman and Robin performance, it's been Stevens and that man Philandia has it in the middle. They have just taken it right up to the Joker.
Well, Philandia had 13 possessions in the second quarter. That's some quarter of footy.
And it wasn't just that he got them, too, it was the way he got them. Yeah. And what he did with them. And he had the ball on a string, and he did those little twists and turns and got a few free kicks. It's interesting also, there's a lot of tall, lumbering timber in that Cats team. Not that timber usually lumbers, but we always say that. But there is a bit of that in the side, and they're going to just need to get a bit more fluency, I think, into it. The Borough seem just a little bit better at ground level, even though it may not be quite reflected in the number of possessions, but they've been a bit dangerous. And there's the man of the moment. It's terrific, too, Drew, when you see a bloke at 32 who's, had the bad year that he had, the 10 weeks, was around about the 10 weeks, I think you said that during the call, but it's just great to see him fire up, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And it just adds that little bit of colour to a game of football. And it's exactly what the point Terry Danaher made too, of having a number of senior players. And I always think, look, McGrath, these blokes teach those younger players about the game, and there's so much collective knowledge that presides in the heads of those blokes. It's good to see them there, getting the young blokes and passing on a bit of football smarts to them.
And he's enjoying it so much that the word is that he might even go on and play another season in the VFL, and to bring a lot of these young kids up, because they've got such a young list.
And why wouldn't you? And have him as he could be a captain or an assistant coach, can't he? And he can be... that's part of the game that's really important in football. And when the footy I went through in the old VFA, you had older blokes there teaching you all the time. And it's a great thing.
I can imagine that you were an old fella even when you were a teenager. I don't know, it's just...
I was a bit of a, given a bit.
Well, the sort of thin, wispy clouds have come from nowhere, so we had a bright, sunny day in the first half, and now it's overcast, but it just couldn't be better for football. Perfect.
Yes, and they're playing there's some brilliant use of the football, and you see the scores at 10-6 and 9-7. Reasonably accurate.
He's waiting for a clearance from the captains or his umpiring mates, but eventually we get underway. Sean Ryan, number 11, the umpire. And here we go. Shocking bounce that Ruckman didn't get a chance at it. Chambers nowhere near it. Here's Philandia. 18 possessions to half-time. Gets the hand pass away. Loaded up the ground. And a chance here for Robertson. And he's pressured by Kilpatrick all the way over the line. So there it is, 66 to 61. Port are 10-6, Geelong 9-7 as we go into this second half. Chambers wins. It comes to Stevens, who's caught by Gergich.
Philandia trots off, back to the right of screen, inside 50, and McGrath goes with him.
Strange, I mentioned in the first half that McGrath often got the job on Wayne Carey. So what different opponents? Wayne Carey and Peter Philandia. Here's Scholes spiralling the ball forward for the Cats. Mensch can't complete the mark. Gets after it again, out near the 50. It's a hand pass away. McCarthy on the turn. Didn't go anywhere, that kick. Anstey back with his hand pass. And a floated hand pass. In comes Ablett. Oh, did he retain possession? Must knock it out. So the umpire has knocked him off. Caught holding the ball and quickly up the ground. Ball comes to Robertson inside the 50.
That is brilliant. Nothing better than seeing a player outsmart his opponent with the use of the body or hands. They allow that these days. In the end, Alloy there. Beautiful mark.
Tony Alloy for Port Melbourne. Wheels. Man on the mark about 40 metres from goal. So on a still day, he'd give this a nice big shake.
Well, he's a neat kick of the football, usually.
Kicks it from just about right on the paint. Easily home for a goal.
Gee, that's good. That's a good start. You hear the umpire. I don't know, with the umpire all the time, but the umpire's in the background telling young Gary Ablett that he had enough time. So at least it's good that the umpires actually bothered to explain to a player. There's one thing that was often missing in the old game. Public relations have changed, Roscoe, haven't they? Different attitude to public relations these days as Alloy bangs through a goal. A more polite society.
In some quarters.
Yes.
11 points.
Point made.
Don't go there.
You can.
Except if some bloke's trying to rob your house.
On the burst. Up towards Alloy. And Phibbs centres it, or tried to centre it. Boss is sitting underneath it. Alloy makes a contest to force the throw in.
Yes, beautiful goal by Alloy. You see him on screen, the crowd there enjoying themselves down there. I can tell you, they're pretty lively at half-time. Telling me that there's more than 3 sides in it, Ross.
Right in front of the Port ladies you were. Chambers read it well. Didn't get the angle he wanted. Joel looks back. His mate and Mott. Looks ready for the next contest. His legs strapped. But it's been strapped all day. Stolen by Stevens. Couldn't get away. Jurgic wrapping up with a tackle. So just a quiet period after that early goal to the Cats, to Port. Mott is limping a bit more now, just in the bottom right of the picture. We can contest this one. Stevens goes. Jimmy Cannon. Right to the hot spot. Oh, good hands from Hunt.
Hunt in the goal square. And kicks out to Scholl. He's pretty shocked to find himself in the VFL side. Played 17 senior games. Dropped late in the season. Chatfield to centre half forward. Mention the chop.
Oh, well
good touch by the Port defenders. Gains about 30 metres to midfield, and it lands Port's way. Anstey grabs it. Terrific chase by Kilpatrick, and holding the ball, Anstey.
Should have known there that there was pressure mounting.
Kilpatrick comes out wide. Carazzo, not great for the forwards. And the ball out in the forward pocket.
Not limping off there.
Yes. So not looking too good.
Sort of whack on the hip, maybe.
Well, the physio did say a couple of corkies.
Yeah, well,
them, but
yep.
that's obviously one of them.
Well, it's going to make it pretty tough for Ricks because he's going to have to do a lot of the work in the second half. Evans out of defence. Alloy. Good mark. Oh, didn't play it. Gee whiz. Here's Ablett. Gets out another hand pass. It's socked away by the Port defence. Buchanan near the boundary line. Slips O'Brien's tackle and then kicks out of bounds on the foot. 26, didn't know his name, McCarthy.
He looks for Mensch. Won't get there, or will it? Mensch just a little late. The kick dropped short. Rose tried to clear it. Good contest. Johnson to get a hand on, but not clear to half back. In front to Luca. But coming through like a train is Ablett. Luke Ablett. Kicks to the square. Volandi is there. Bit of... Top of his day so far with a miracle goal.
That is Flanagan straight out of the World Cup, even better than that. And what the appropriate name to kick one of those, Roscoe?
Yeah.
That is amazing. But look at the lead-up work before the goal is just as good. Watch him use his body as he tries to hold. We may see it. He backs, look, holds McGrath off. That is amazing. McGrath's a biggie. You know, you mentioned, Drew, about he picked up the likes of Carey, and he's kept him off the ball. Just absolutely astounding. Will we give that a play of the day?
Play of the day, goal of the day, every category you like to name.
Goal of the year. Ha! God, reminds me when you were running around for Monash, Roscoe, that one.
Couldn't do that.
Gee, it was great play by Luke Ablett too.
Oh.
Good run and a perfect kick to the spot. Here's Robertson. Here goes Port again. Bibbs comes into Stevens. Disappointing. And chopped off in defence. Play fair. No, it wasn't. Out there on centre wing, that was McCarthy. Gets it on to Carazzo. O'Brien gives away a free kick. O'Brien can't believe it.
I think it was right. Which way are you kicking?
So there was Ricks getting the hand pass away. Robertson up to centre wing. McCarthy underneath the ball. Good mark, Buchanan. Thought he had a break on him, but his opponent had a fair share of his jumper. Hand pass comes in Chambers. Hunt. Now Ablett. Gary Ablett to the 50. Off the right boot. How's his kicking form? Offline.
Yes, down there, and that's umpire Andrew Clifton, and didn't he do that well, the goal umpire Ross? The movement of an engineer about him, didn't you think?
Yeah, I've been doing some homework still. Brockman receives the kick in. He's got Philander on a lead. McGrath trying to clean him up, and does, but legally, a good fist away.
He's the goal umpire who's not from Fiji.
That's yes, he did. He's actually from Mentone, which is a fair way from Fiji.
So Ricks doing all the ruck work. Chambers won it. Carazzo, another high ball underneath it. Brockman. Kilpatrick makes the spoil. Gardner knocked out of the contest by Gill. Ablett, little soccer. Don't know if it was deliberate. Try to find Gardner. Bartell, tight on the line. Good kick on the left. Over Mench's head. Oh, no, Brian read it well. Tight angle. Got a lead. Bit of work by Scholl. Using the body. And Bennett should relieve the pressure for the Port side out to McMahon.
Oh, look at the split here, Ross.
Yeah, loose is Ablett. He'll go for another run if it'll sit for him. It doesn't.
Oh.
And now it does. Ablett, all the way Buchanan. Getting away from Johnson. Ford looking good.
It's a good kick, this bloke, too. He won't get the goal, but he'll put it somewhere dangerous. Stevens is your man.
No one in the street. Tries a shot. Zero Lockett is a poor kick and chopped off by Bartell. Oh, that's 50.
Come with me.
Short right on the umpire.
You're nicked. Come with me. Away a couple of 50 metres, Ricky O'Loughlin. He's had a poor day.
They like each other more, these umpires, and footballers like their teammates, Ross, don't they?
Just offsetting the negative criticism from spectators and players, Phil.
It is a great job. They're doing a good job, though. Despite what the commentators people say.
16-point lead to Port. Scholl goes very wide near the boundary line. Evans puts on enough pressure and intercepts the hand pass. Well done, Brent Evans.
It was a good kick.
Down the line he goes.
Oh,
Buchanan. Here's a will-o'-the-wisp, this fella. Saw him play in the TAC Cup Grand Final at the MCG. Kicked a fistful of goals that day. Eamon Buchanan pulls out a play, throw in. Half forward for Port.
and Lachlan getting the message from Coach David Dunbar. He's been rescued, seen there with the phone being told, and he can't be giving away those 50-metre penalties.
Well, if a stat gets you a plus 1 point and a clanger gets you minus, he'd be minus today because there's too many clangers.
He's given away 2 50-metre penalties today, hasn't he?
Chambers pinged the holding in the ruck, free to DeLuca. Another tool, pops it up looking to Stevens. 2 on 1.
Oh,
Little
Peter.
man for Landia, puts it back pretty well. In fact, there's Jovanovic, Border Cats, one of their 4 top-ups. Runs his full measure of distance and kicks long. Good kick out to Carazzo and Robertson, who beat him. Robertson squeezes his kick in as Ablett tries to smother. And Jovanovic stands tall again.
And pass back to Hunt. Now they're out of defence. Bruno across the ground to Scholl. McGrath, no pressure on him at half-back. Tim McGrath can go for a run. Couple of bounces, draws a man. It wasn't the best of hand passes, but made to look okay by Powell. McGrath keeps going, out wide. Gardner in the pocket. Charlie for goal. And who's going to take Charlie home tonight? He's kicked it.
Well, it all came from the back half where they were able to set the play up. Brought it back out, and McGrath was in it a couple of times, and in the end it looks pretty easy, but once you've got possession, wise head there, McGrath, he doesn't try to bang it, he sees the free player in Gardner, he just waltzes in, as easy as you like, bangs it over umpire Andrew Clifton's head.
So, can Port rally? Margin back to 10 points. Lot off the ground.
I never seem to get too far ahead though, Port, do they? You think they're fired up by the play, you'd say, gee, they might be 4 goals, but only ever just a nose.
Yeah. 3 times they've led by 17 points. 4, in fact. Anstey. Oh, won't sip the McInerney. Nice gather, Lloyd. Thought about it. Shoots on goal for his second. A whistle.
Cop that. That is a goal. That is a goal. Gee, have we seen some beautiful goals here today?
So 2 to Alloy in the quarter. And back to what?
Oh, that was just classic. Though, Ross, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, look at what this is Gary Ablett stuff, really. Off he goes, forks, another one. Oh, it just shows you when a bloke's running with the football, there must be a message gets sent to your brain that you go to the football, Drew. And in fact, you've got to go to the bloke. You just got to wrap your arms around his waist, not look at the football, but you get fixated on the old leather thing.
Terry Mitchell, cameraman there behind the goals, no, he took that mark.
He's still with us.
Middle of the ground, Bartel, kick smothered. Attempted punch missed. Is that high? The Port player certainly thinks it was. There's no decision from the umpire. It'll be a ball up.
Eyes on the footy, get your eyes up!
The old, straight up and down. The old hit.
Get your eyes up, Jono! Hands off him!
So his head's ringing. Whoa! Big leap by Chambers.
That's interesting, that.
Regan's a free against him.
Well, if you remember in the first quarter, free kick was paid, wasn't it, when he jumped? On that occasion, no free kick. What's the difference? Tell me what the difference is. This is where they've got to be clear and consistent.
Well, Ricks will know he's about for this next one. Ricks faces Chambers. And Ricks beats him. But it comes to Ablett. He gets bowled over by Buchanan after he got rid of the ball. McGrath up the ground. And McCarthy. O'Brien wide for Kilpatrick. 50 metres. He hesitated and is holding the ball. He might have been carried forward in the tackle, but he's run out. The hand pass comes to Philandia. He's gone. O'Brien's tackle.
He tried to cover that Philandia. That was very clever, but he got caught in the end. He lost the ball, but he make sure after he loses it, he gets right on top of it and gets it back in.
You don't want to be on the ground with a head like that, otherwise somebody will go with a soccer.
They had before, I'll bet.
Bennett kicks out to the Philandia direction, but he's outnumbered 2 to 1. Chambers, Carato, or Robertson.
Good work.
Tackle in, McGrath in trouble too. Carato another chance. Anstey puts pressure on. Oh no, Bennett stepped there to get away the free. I thought he was going the ball, but
It's too bad. The free kick.
I could work that out here. Let's have a look.
Shepherded off.
How could that be a free kick to Bennett? I'd give up.
Well, Ricks kicks. Corley chopped off by Powell. Cross half-back. McGrath's got space out here. Commentary box side. Half-back flank. Won't be run down. He's got good support. Verbally. Good kick to Mensch. In the way was Obbs. Chance for O'Brien if he can straighten up. Goal unguarded. Shoal. Look at the determination on Brad Scholl's face.
There's nothing the Borough boys could do in the back half then, once O'Brien spun around and Shoal.
It's only, as our caption said, it's only his second VFL game, but he qualifies while the seniors are still playing.
Yeah, which is always a problem.
Straight kick. Margin back to 10 points, but still the Borough lead. Deep into third quarter, 17 minutes.
It's a real issue that I reckon. You come to the finals and you have a finals game that's critical for a VFL side, and yet a bloke who hasn't really qualified is able to play because his side's playing on the same day. So if Geelong doesn't play today...
This weekend.
This weekend, yeah. So, on the weekend, but he's out of action, isn't he?
Well, they're all playing, so yeah, next week he can play.
Yeah.
It might if Geelong make the finals in the seniors.
Well, what I'm alluding to is the possibility that the rule could be different.
Here's a chance for Gary Ablett to run onto this. 45 metres out from goal. Oh, he didn't see the tackle of Buchanan. Valandia. Oh, terrific. Valandia gets it back from Rose. And good mark by Ablett. Back towards half-back, not Ablett. Oh, just one player too early. Here's Ablett. Luke Ablett. Out into the hot spot. Stevens! No mark. Alloy! Oh, gee, what sort of a goal would that have been?
Oh. And Stevens nearly wrapped that up in the contest. But Alloy, you see Stevens, he just can't get... Look at Alloy. Tell you what, there's a bit of soccer mouse about these players. They've got the right names for it.
Of course, we've got Ben Dixon dropped, but he didn't qualify for Box Hill because he hasn't played any game. He must have played one.
He won't play the one, yes, Ross.
Chatfield. 15 metres into McGrath. Cat starting to run. Port slowed up. McCarthy, Shoal. In trouble. Big Chambers. Back to McCarthy. Oh, doubtful looking hand pass. Umpire, if you like it. Good pressure by the Borough midfield. Anstey. Look at Rose. He's run from defence. Runs to 50. Bombs it long, Brett Rose. And bombs it very badly. Way, way wide. He's not get $10,000 or whatever for that kick.
Hunt kicks in. Okay, Jovanovic, Merriman. Gergic out at centre wing. What a contest, an 11-point lead to Port Melbourne, the underdogs. Bartell, Mensch on the lead, with him Bennett. Good play by Bennett, and follows up for the footy. Jared Bennett, what great football. Contest at centre wing. Soccer forward by Robertson for Ablett. And he was just about to put through the ball, and it's in the back. Free kick to Ablett. Luke Ablett, taken number 24 in the draft 2000 by the Sydney Swans. Kick by Ablett. Pass out to Buchanan. Buchanan runs into trouble. Gets into trouble. Reaches it. And it's a shot by DeLuca. And a behind.
Whew. All sorts of opportunities opening up. But DeLuca couldn't finish it off. Oh.
He didn't want it in the first place.
What happens here? Touched off the boot. Wow.
From the kick in, Bartell took it. Merriman. Good kick, McGrath. Falandia. Oh, let him get past. McGrath can run now.
Problem. McGrath.
On Falandia. Minch. Easy mark. Well inside 50.
If Falandia goes chasing kicks, McGrath's getting all the kicks this quarter. And look out.
He's taking the smart move by Dunbar. He's going to rest him now because he is tiring. McGrath doing the right thing, taking him up the ground. And you picked it, Ross. It was a poor tackle. It was a tired tackle. He knew he was going to get round him. And he went too far past him. He needed... And McGrath even knew as he got the ball he was going to go round him.
So Falandia off the ground, replaced by Cotchett.
Johnson with the blood rule.
So the intensity really takes it out of you, and Peter Falandia couldn't go at that pace for 4 quarters.
How many possessions this quarter for Tim McGrath, Paul?
Sorry, Gardner coming on. Now Minch. There's 3 goals.
I'll tell you, Ross, we see if Alan Pidmore is able to put this up again, you watch Bennett jump over the mark just as he did in that other time where he got a 50-metre. We might not get to see it, but very interesting on what is actually the rule on the 50-metre penalty. If you jump over the mark, as opposed to maybe taking the step. Maybe he took the step last time, but anyway.
I would have thought you could jump up in the air and forward. And if you're in the air,
wouldn't matter.
It'd be okay.
I don't think it'd go forward.
Not even if you're in the air?
No. I think they do ping you back. Should have punched that ball then, Bennett.
Bartel now. Jovanovic, the defender, going out wide. Just gets the kick in time. Over the head of O'Brien. He's thinking about, he wants a free kick. And there's no free kick. Boundary throw in.
There's, watch. See how Bennett jumps forward? He does it all the time. And I don't reckon that was any different from the one where he got the, or maybe half a step.
I reckon the other was a bit more.
Just a bit more. Yep. Interesting, nevertheless.
And it's terrific play out of defence by Obst. Centre wing didn't. Oh, I was going to eventually get to him. This was the start of the second quarter. Stevens. But McCarthy's hand pass finishes up with Gergich from Bartel.
Pretty good
outside the 50. And Blackney. Shaw is there. Can't take the mark. Oh, they need to be good here. And they are. Cleared by Alloy. Alloy has been on the forward line. Kicked a couple of goals this quarter. It's now on the last line of defence. Now Rose. Good team play by Port. They lead by 11 still, late in the third quarter. And a holding free kick. Port's free.
That good play you referred to was on Ablett again, Drew, and they knocked him off the ball every chance they get.
Luca Stevens the mark.
And he's just tired a little bit, Stevens. Noticed him a couple of times, half limping, just trying to gather his strength. Sock down there. Really got to fire up the big bloke. Can't just think he's had one good quarter or 2 quarters and then that's it.
Well, if socks down indicate you're tired, there's a heap of stretcher cases out there. Stevens goes for goal and has missed. So he's kicked 4 goals, 3. Scott Stevens.
Yes, not always a clear-cut example, but I just thought on his case it looked like a tired sock.
Oh, I'd say for sure. See, here's Tim McGrath. He's got both socks down.
Chatfield. Looking well dressed. Both socks neat and tidy. Likewise, Gil.
What is to say to the boys, Ross? Make sure your socks are up.
You've got a clean hanky. Here's Bartel. Mentz has made a good lead. Will the kick? No, didn't carry to him. Execution 4 and free kick to Bennett this time. Just so thanks right for that. He's been on the wrong end of a few today, Jared Bennett.
What do you think about that contest, Phil? A couple of big boys going at it like stags locking horns.
They sure are. He's been good though, Bennett. He plays well for his height. You know, he can take a bigger player. He gives you the full go. Doesn't hold back. Doesn't leave you wondering. Suppose you didn't spot Jane Leavitt on the grass there, Ross, did you?
Earlier I did. McInerney working hard in the packs. Got it out to DeLuca. Ooh. Interesting. Woolno. Gill intercepted. Ablett overrunning it. McInerney. The numbers look for Anstey. Run down in the back of too long. Too long, said the umpire.
Second time this quarter, Ross, where he's been mowed down.
Both socks down, Phil.
Okay, got the point.
Kicks to McCarthy. He gave his opponent a push or he'll be penalised.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just reckon that there are 44 blokes out there entitled to be feeling.
Oh, yeah, fair point. And they are. It's been a pretty tough old game, no doubt about that.
Luke Ablett juggles the mark, completes it. Into Anstey. Hold the play on. Oh, wobbly, drifting, dipping kick. Disappointing. Gergich. Geelong certainly close enough, even though they trail by 2 points. Late in the third quarter. Shaw misses altogether. It spills here to Phibbs. His disposal. What about this for O'Loughlin? He's had a poor day. Merriman. draws a couple of players. Not the greatest of hand passes, but it works okay. Gergich at centre half back. Pops one over the top. Tim McGrath is still full of running, the veteran.
Yes.
Out to Hunt. Well, he's got a week here. Blackney approaches the 50. Not a bad kick to the edge of the goal square. Punch by comes down to Bennett. He's bowled over and will take. Well, there's going to be a free kick now. Advantage. And running it out of defence is Rose. Kick by Rose. Few gaps starting to open up around the ground now. Phibbs goes to ground. Gill it is. And a sandwich, a high sandwich to Ryan McMahon, and a free kick.
27 minutes on the clock. Geelong kicked 3 goals in time on. This is where Dunbar's worried.
And what the second quarter went about 33 or 34 minutes.
You know what, too, boys, I reckon this is I'll come back to it in a minute. This is not like a game at Colonia where they're all playing possession. It's a lot more contests, a lot more physical, I reckon, and that's wearing them down a bit too.
Up towards O'Loughlin, couldn't get into the contest. Gardner.
Well, I'd call it a man-on-man game.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than this zone flooding business.
Well, definitely. More contest, marks taken in contest.
McGrath involved well. Again, Scholl ran a long way. Gave it out to Powell from 60. Centres it. And finds, it looks like Blackney. And he plays on quickly. O'Brien should go. Oh, he's hooked it. He's got it. By the look of that face.
Danger here for the Borough. Dead set danger. Yeah, look, Drew, that's right. When I'm in Colonia, we've seen a lot of games at Colonia, just because a lot of them are on TV, I think, where they zone off and the like. You said a lot of possession, a lot of flooding, and then sides playing possession all over the place. But here, dead right, a lot of contested marks, aren't there? A lot of contested play, tackles in traffic, and it is really testing them. But I reckon the Borough, you can see, are just, I would say, in terms of tiring, they're dropping more rapidly than the Cats, and that's why it's dangerous for them at the moment. And David Dunbar, if he's going to win, he's going to have to get very, very smart in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, this is a game where everyone has an opponent, and you don't always get a game of football like that. It's designed to be like that. Nancy's hand pass to Alloy after getting it from Alloy in the first place. He turned his opponent inside out. Alloy and Nancy playing their own game. Inside the 50. Oh, juggled. Almost a good mark to Ricks. All up. Look.
Let his Willie jump again.
Great to see Mark. He's had 2 knee reconstructions. He was drafted in '97 and has played 6 AFL games.
Beautiful bounce by umpire Chamberlain.
Mence loved it too. But Port came up with it. Alloy, Buchanan, McInerney. Oh, beautiful. Brent Evans is a lovely kick. Oh.
Yes.
Get a goal in time on.
What a kick. What about the handball, though? Wasn't it good? You have a look at that. He did not miss a beat, Evans, and he's such a good kick. Absolutely brilliant play. Look at that handball. And that's really good stuff for McInerney because he's come on, he's put it right in the path of Evans. Oh, and he deserves to be excited about that, the young bloke.
Well, that equalises the goal kick by O'Brien, so it's a 12-point margin maintained by Port late in the third quarter. Post the siren time, 3-quarter time. Alloy's had a great third quarter. Buchanan's kick just had a little bit too much carry. The mark to Scholl and the siren for 3-quarter time. And the minor premiers, oh, like the boy with the barrow, have the job in front of them in the last quarter. Geelong trail by 12 points. It's Port 14-9 and 12-9.
Well, Drew, it's a good game of footy, this. It's very interesting in terms of the matchups, as you were saying. It's more a man-on-man game. It's hard footy. There's a lot of heavy traffic. Blokes are marking in contests, and they're plucking these great goals under pressure. That one from Evans just typified the game. We got a great last quarter, but I still reckon this side just seems to be, well, I don't know now. I thought 10 minutes ago they seem to be just tiring less rapidly than Port. Can Port sustain it for 30 minutes? I think David Dunbar's got to squeeze every bit out of them. He's got to manipulate his side. Only 2 goals in it. Been a great game of real old style footy. Nice and tight here at the Port Ground. We're going to have a beautiful last quarter.
We were going to get a great bit of commentary from you then, like something like Good Evans, but all we got was whoa.
Well, it was too exciting to go with that sort of stuff. And you see Stevens there, well, he's got the 4, and Mensch has been well held, and you mentioned Bennett. That's a great contest, that one, Bennett and Mensch. Been fantastic. One of the old-time ones, nice and tight, body on body. Big game here at Port Melbourne, big last quarter.
We'll get into the huddles shortly, but in the meantime, it's back to Bev in the studio.
Thanks so much, Drew. Let's update the AFL matches.